Voyagers. My name is Julie and I am here with Nick.
Hello, everyone.
And today we are going to be unboxing Disney's latest snow globes. So without further ado, let's head out on our voyage. So we just got these pins yesterday in the mail, and overall, what is your opinion of these snow globes compared to like the last two sets of them?
I actually think this set's better. You know, one of the problems that the snow globes have had is not very fine details on things like screen printing or overall appearances of the faces. And I do think this one's an improvement. So yeah, let's start to look at them.
Okay. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with Lion King.
Okay.
One thing that's really nice about this series of snow globes is that they've added quite a lot of sandblasting. So this waterfall feature that's right below the globe itself is sandblasted. The water that's at the bottom is sandblasted. This is a really nice design. I like this one a lot.
Oh, yeah. I wish there was maybe a little bit more color on the photos because Pumbaa and the rocks are like the same color. But overall, I think this is a super cute pin. And I like how at the very bottom, there's also like a river below them. So yeah, I really like this photo a lot. Just maybe a little bit more color in the foliage below them. All right, I'm going to go next with... Bianca and Bernard from The Rescuers. Actually, I think The Rescuers Down Under. Yes. The Rescuers.
Why do you think Down Under?
Because I remember this scene in the movie where like he's like, this is I'm not gonna say that's right. Albatross Air. Because that's what kind of bird he is. And
but isn't that in the first one too? Aren't they in both?
No.
I've never seen either.
No, so this is definitely from The Rescuers Down Under. Final answer.
Okay. Hey, if she's wrong, tell us in the comments.
But yeah, they're sitting in a little sardine can, and he's like, has the stair, like the little mouse bring the stairs up to him. But I think this is a super cute pin. And I think one of my favorite parts about this pin is the metal that, and I forget the bird's name, so I apologize, that he's sitting on, because it actually looks like metal. So that's my answer to this pin.
Yeah, I actually think this is the best executed pin of this series. Like Julie was saying, this part really looks like steel that's been put together with the rivets and everything. It looks really, really nice. All the screen printing is good. I enjoy it. I think the colors are just a perfect blend. You can really tell what everything is. This is a great pin.
All right, next, your pick.
I'm going to go with what I think is my favorite pin. Even though The Rescuers, I believe, is the best executed, I think this one's my favorite. It's a unique looking pin. With the way that the masts go out in different directions, and it almost looks like a real snow globe. Where, you know, the rest of these do look like that. You know, they have a base that they're sitting on, except for Lion King because it's got water at the bottom. But this clearly looks like a base. You know, you could imagine this as a real three-dimensional object sitting on a desk. The one flaw I do believe is kind of common with some of our other snow globes. The screen printing on the faces of the characters, it's not that great. But, you know, I do have to appreciate the challenge of that for the manufacturer because these are tiny faces, even though this is a big pin.
I think that out of all the pens we're going to talk today, this is probably my favorite pen, and I wish that we wouldn't have already traded it.
We already traded it.
I probably would have kept it. That's what you get for making pre-trades. But I think it's really cute. If I had to critique anything, I wish that the flags were like maybe a little bit bigger. Like the pirate flag is like uber tiny. But I really like this pen, and I'm kind of sad that I traded it.
Yeah, maybe we'll trade for it again.
Yeah.
What comes around goes around.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to save this one for last, so I'll talk about Pocahontas next. I really do like this pen. However, the rocks seem a little bit off to me. Like there's this one rock, and I'll put a close up so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but there's this rock that's just kind of jetting off to the side that doesn't really make sense. And there's just a lot of greens. So it's kind of like you almost don't even notice Grandmother Willow's face in the tree.
Grandmother Willow's in there?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. I see what you're talking about with the rock. See, I was going to say that I think in terms of color, this is the prettiest pin. But now that I'm looking at it, Grandmother Willow's the wrong color.
So, I mean, I think it's a pretty pen. We still have this one for trade, so if you are interested in it, you can reach out to us. We also have Lion King that is still for trade as well. I mean, I like the pen, but it's not going to go on my Pocahontas board.
There's so much sandblasting, and I love the sandblast. I'm going to say, though, in this case, I think it's over sandblasted. I don't think there should be sandblasting in the trees up here, and I understand why they probably did it. You know, the more colors that you use when you make a pin, that is going to increase the production cost. So if they're going to have this blue here, it wouldn't make sense to make Grandmother Willow the proper blue, blue-green color that she is. So if that was the case, I think they should have omitted Grandmother Willow or the water. You know, one or the other. And not have to worry about this contrast. And just, they didn't need the sandblast up here in the trees. It doesn't seem to make sense to me. Trees aren't like these super shiny, reflective things. Some leaves might be a little reflective now and then, but for the most part, you know, leaves absorb light. That's what they're supposed to do.
All right. Last but not least, we have our Little Mermaid snow globe. And I knew that when this dropped, Nick was like, I don't know, like, and I'm like, snow globes trade so well. And I knew this pin was going to trade like a hotcake. I knew I didn't want it, but I will say that I think overall they did like a fairly good job on the sisters' faces, considering how little they are. Like overall, I think it's a pretty pen. It's not a pen that I necessarily need in my collection. But I'm really glad though that we got it for trade because it traded in like 2.5 seconds. So what are your thoughts?
It's nice. It's fine. I guess that's kind of where I go. It's fine. My only complaint is that all this metalwork, I wish it was more shiny gold. To me, this reads more bronze, and yeah, I don't know. I think that's my only complaint.
Okay, so just kind of like to recap. I want to think about all the snow globes so far. So you're saying that you think that the Rescuers Down Under pin so far out of all the snow globes,
I think I mean, how long? We've been having snow globe pins released since 2020, right? I think the Aristocats. If it wasn't the first, it was one of the first
too. Yeah.
The Aristocats was actually a really good snow globe, and I can't remember what it looks like anymore. But yeah, I think out of the more recent ones, I think this is
It's also a little bit
I think
bigger.
the best executed.
Like the faces aren't so tiny.
Yeah, they weren't trying to cram so much into
One design.
one design. Yeah, so I think that's why this, in my opinion, this is the most effective, the best design.
So I do like this pin, but if I had to pick one, I think it would almost be the Mary Poppins pin. Just because of the way that they did that like clear enamel and then the screen print over it to give it more of that depth feeling.
That was really cool, but I think
their faces, it's just like also so small.
Yeah, not
but
good.
For me, I think because this is the characters are bigger, the screen print isn't as small, it just looks like crisper. But I like the effects, I think, more on the Mary Poppins.
Well, and I do agree with you. I'm going to say Peter Pan is still probably my favorite. The design of that pin is really, really cool. I wish the faces could have been better. I would have almost rather them just had the pirate ship and the crocodile. And I don't really need the characters on there. Mm-hmm. That's a really cool pin.
So, do we think that this is it for snow globes? Or...
I don't know. How many movies are left?
Encanto.
Luca. I mean, I guess there's a plethora of movies that haven't been done.
And people love them. So, this to me, I don't think that this is the end of the series. But I also I have heard from so many people that these snow globes over time end up cracking, and then the value of them just go through the roof because it's hard to find one that's not damaged.
The value of intact ones go through the roof. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it would also be extremely interesting, like if Disney went in the future like they did with that Great Mouse Detective that made it look like a globe without it being like a protruding globe.
Yeah. Great Mouse Detective? I thought, if you look back at our videos, I think we said that with Muppet Haunted Mansion, Piggy as Leota.
You're right.
Right.
I'm wrong.
If you ask me, that was a great way to...
You're right.
To interpret a globe.
Yeah. All right. So, overall, great success. If you're interested in trading for any of these, like I said, we only have the Lion King and Pocahontas left for trade. We do have one of our older snow globes for trade, and that is the Lady and the Tramp snow globe as well.
And if anyone has a Peter Pan that they want to trade us, I'm open to making a deal.
So if you need to hit us up on Instagram, I am pinstress_JMW.
I am second star pins to the right.
And if you liked this video, please hit the like button. For more pin content, hit the subscribe button and the bell if you want to be notified. I am trying to put out at least one video a week. Sometimes it's hard, but I'm trying my hardest. Nick and I are going to a pin trading event this coming Saturday, so we will be making sure that these go in our pin trading book. If you love pins as much as we do, both official and fantasy pins, Nick and I and Terry, when we get the chance, because she's really busy at work, but we also make a podcast about all things pins. So if you're on your way to work and you're like, hey, let's listen to something fun and light, our podcast is also called Pin Voyagers, and you can find us on any major podcasting platform. All right, so until next time,
we'll see you on our next voyage.
Wherever we're going, I could not say for sure. Better not knowing, but it's better than before. But here's the cure. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine, everybody join the fun line, ain't nobody left behind. Possible we're drifting, but it doesn't seem to be. findable what's missing, but we've never missed a beat. Can't you see? Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine, everybody join the fun line. Ain't nobody left behind.